Unexplained UFO encounters constantly defy our reality, from a radioactive glowing craft in a quiet forest to a tic-tac outsmarting Navy jets. Are we witnessing secret military tech, or is a real UFO watching us? On August 7, 2026, the U.S. government released another batch of files about unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs, the official term now used instead of the more familiar word, UFO. The release included 41 documents, images and videos gathered from several government agencies. Most of them came and went without much notice. One report did not. At Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan in June 2002, a pilot reported seeing a huge silent triangle moving across the sky. It had no visible lights, may have been traveling over 170 miles per hour, and was estimated to be more than 150 meters wide. Another pilot saw it too. In 2011, 2 U.S. service members reported a similar black triangle in Afghanistan. An FBI reconstruction showed the object blocking out the stars. In 2023, a witness near Colorado Springs described a dark, almost transparent triangle. A reconstruction showed reddish lights at its corners. The size described in the Bagram case also caught the attention of Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb. Loeb noted that the pilots provided unusually specific estimates of the object's size. If their estimate of more than 150 meters was accurate, the object would have been larger than any aircraft ever built. A former defense analyst added that triangle-shaped objects are one of 2 UAP types that have puzzled the Pentagon for years. The other type is glowing ball-shaped objects that seem to behave like plasma, and some of those objects can actually be seen in videos included in the newly released files. 6 videos capture a separate encounter over the Gulf of Oman in September 2021, where U.S. forces observed dozens of fast-moving spherical objects during a live-fire exercise. Some of the objects appeared to react when the aircraft opened fire. One clip shows a dark, cold orb, reportedly about 4 feet across, darting through the frame in irregular patterns, almost like a housefly caught on camera. Another video recorded by a military sensor camera at an undisclosed location in the Middle East in 2025 shows a round sphere traveling in a straight line above what looks like a residential area. A third video captured over the Pacific Ocean in 2019 shows a black sphere that disappears and then reappears, visibly quivering as it slowly drifts across the screen. Investigators noted the flickering in that footage may be partly explained by how it was recorded, since the sensor image itself was filmed using a handheld device. This is the 5th batch of UFO documents released since President Trump signed an order back in January calling for more transparency from the military. So what do you think these files really show? Are we looking at proof of something we can't explain, or is there a more down-to-earth answer still waiting to be found? Las Vegas, usually known for its bright skyline, became the center of an unexpected UFO scare when a local family reported seeing a strange object drop from the sky and land in their backyard. A responding officer's body camera captured a bright streak that vanished midair, adding to the mystery. Soon after, a Ring doorbell clip from the same area and time showed a flash and a loud impact, matching the family's account. With both recordings lining up, many began to suspect something unusual might have happened that night. Circulating images that appear to show a disturbed patch of desert only added more attention, and the story quickly spread worldwide as people waited for updates. Some think the synchronized footage suggests something truly unexplained, while others believe it could be a falling object or atmospheric debris. What's your take? An actual crash of something unknown, or just a moment misunderstood in the Las Vegas night sky? While UFOs are often reported above major cities, on December 26, 1980, something far more unsettling occurred near a quiet forest in England, later known as the Rendlesham Forest incident. Multiple U.S. Air Force personnel stationed at RAF Woodbridge reported seeing intense lights, prompting several servicemen, including a senior officer, to enter the forest to investigate. Instead of debris, they encountered a glowing metallic object that moved rapidly through the trees. The following day, physical traces were found, including ground impressions, damaged branches, and radiation levels far above normal. Years later, a retired officer formally documented the accounts and suggested a possible cover-up. While no official explanation has ever been confirmed, the consistency of multiple military witnesses continues to set this case apart. If trained personnel all reported the same thing, was this one of the most credible UFO encounters ever recorded? While vacationing in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a 29-year-old man from Boston captured something unusual while filming a thunderstorm over the ocean. As lightning lit up the sky, a fast-moving object suddenly streaked through the clouds. After reviewing the footage, he realized the object appeared to be traveling at an extreme speed, vanishing almost as quickly as it appeared. A nearby aircraft in the background helped highlight just how fast the object was moving, and its lack of sound only added to the mystery. Although some viewers believe it could have been a plane or another explainable phenomenon, others argue its speed and behavior don't match anything conventional. The video quickly went viral, with speculation ranging from advanced technology to the idea that the storm itself may have played a role in the object's movement. Whatever it was, the footage left many wondering whether this was simply a rare atmospheric event, or another sign that our skies still hold unexplained secrets. At first glance, this photo appears ordinary. A 1940s crowd gathered in Canada for the reopening of a bridge, everyone dressed in the fashion of the era. The image came from a Canadian museum and attracted little attention until it was digitized and shared online in 2010, when viewers began noticing one man who clearly stood apart. He wears a dark t-shirt, sunglasses, a hooded zip-up jacket, and holds what looks like a portable camera, an appearance that feels strikingly modern compared to those around him. Although researchers later pointed out that each of these items technically existed during the 1940s, the combination still feels unusually out of place. This has led some to believe he was simply ahead of fashion trends, while others speculate something far stranger. If everything in the image is authentic, was this man just unusually modern, or could this photo be capturing someone who didn't belong to that time at all? The 2006 O'Hare International Airport UFO incident remains one of the most puzzling, unexplained cases on record. On November 7, 2006, multiple witnesses reported seeing a metallic, disc-shaped object hovering above Chicago's O'Hare Airport before suddenly shooting upward and disappearing into the clouds. Although the FAA initially stated it had no information, later reports revealed that nearly a dozen United Airlines employees, including pilots and supervisors, had observed the object firsthand.
And there's this story you may have already heard about, United Airlines employees who swear it was something otherworldly in the skies above Chicago's O'Hare Airport.
Officials later suggested the sighting was caused by a rare weather effect known as a hole punch cloud, though weather conditions that day didn't support that explanation. Another claim pointed to airport lighting, despite those lights reportedly being inactive at the time. No further investigation followed, and the incident was quietly left unresolved. With multiple trained aviation workers describing the same object and official explanations repeatedly shifting, many continue to question whether this was simply misidentified, or if something truly unexplained was seen in the skies above Chicago that day. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most disturbing and mysterious cases ever recorded, straddling the line between true crime and the unexplained. In February 1959, a group of experienced hikers set out on a familiar trail they had successfully traveled before, expecting nothing out of the ordinary, Instead, none of them survived. When their bodies were discovered, they were found scattered far from their tents in extreme conditions, some appearing to flee, others seemingly attempting to climb a tree. Several were missing clothing, facial features, or internal organs, and the surrounding area showed unusual radiation levels. Despite extensive investigation, no clear explanation was ever confirmed, and authorities restricted public access to the bodies. While theories range from secret military activity to something far more unnatural, the lack of definitive evidence continues to fuel suspicion that crucial details were withheld, leaving one lingering question: what truly forced those hikers out into the frozen night? UFO sightings aren't limited to the United States, and a recent video from New South Wales, Australia has sparked widespread curiosity. The footage shows what appears to be a round silver object with a bright circular light underneath, moving slowly across the sky. While some viewers dismiss it as a child's balloon, others point out that the object doesn't rise like a balloon and appears to rotate as it travels. Despite the distance making it difficult to zoom in clearly, many argue that it would have to be unusually large to be visible from so far away. The sighting has fueled debate between skeptics and believers, with some noting how easily balloons can be misidentified, while others insist this object doesn't resemble anything ordinary. With no clear explanation, the footage continues to leave people wondering whether this was a simple illusion, or something far more unusual moving through the skies above Australia. A strange sight recently caught people's attention across several parts of the world: a dark, ring-shaped formation drifting through the clouds. During a single weekend, similar black circles were reported in multiple locations, including Litchfield, Kentucky, where residents spotted one hovering above busy roads just before dusk. The unusual shape sparked immediate debate, with theories ranging from flocks of birds and smoke plumes to more extreme claims involving UFOs. One possible explanation emerged when footage from an airfield showed a powerful explosion producing a circular black cloud in the sky. However, that answer didn't fully settle the mystery, as many sightings occurred far from any airfields or known explosions. With no single explanation fitting every case, the phenomenon continues to raise questions about whether these black rings are an uncommon natural event or something far more difficult to explain. Deep within Utah's infamous Skinwalker Ranch, a team of scientists recorded unusual footage that quickly drew global attention. In this remote area known for unexplained activity, cameras captured what appeared to be multiple unidentified objects flying in precise formation. Analysis of the footage revealed a small object seemingly splitting or shifting into several synchronized aerial phenomena, leaving researchers uncertain about its origin. Additional recordings from the site showed a rocket vanishing almost instantly after launch, and several unidentified objects detected through thermal imaging. These repeated incidents have fueled speculation ranging from advanced experimental technology to far more extraordinary possibilities. With so many unexplained events tied to the same location, many are left wondering whether Skinwalker Ranch is simply a testing ground, or something far stranger that continues to defy explanation. The Solway spaceman photo has circulated online for decades, yet its mystery remains unresolved. Taken in May 1964 by Jim Templeton, a firefighter and local historian in Cumberland, England, the image was meant to capture his young daughter during a family visit near the Solway Firth. At the time, Templeton recalled no one else being nearby, but when the photo was developed, a figure resembling someone in a spacesuit appeared standing just behind her. Templeton insisted the image was untouched, and Kodak experts later confirmed the photo showed no signs of manipulation. Since then, theories have ranged from photographic anomalies to far more extraordinary explanations, including time travel or extraterrestrial visitors. While skeptics continue to suggest conventional causes, no single explanation has fully accounted for the figure's appearance, leaving many to wonder whether this image captured a simple illusion or something truly unexplained. Late one afternoon, pilot Ray Bowyer was flying a routine short route from Southampton to Alderney over the English Channel when he and his passengers spotted two unidentified objects near the island. The sighting, which lasted nearly an hour, was reported to Jersey Airport radar control, while other pilots and observers in the area also described unusual colored lights in the sky around the same time. Various explanations were suggested, including rare atmospheric effects, but none were officially confirmed. Despite multiple eyewitness accounts and limited photographic evidence, aviation authorities never reached a definitive conclusion. With so many trained observers reporting the same event, the incident continues to raise questions about whether this was a rare natural phenomenon, or something still unexplained moving through the skies that day. In North Carolina, a technology enthusiast captured unusual footage of a flashing object in the sky while birdwatching, initially appearing as a simple light before revealing something far more unusual. As the camera zoomed in and the footage was slowed down, the object appeared pill-shaped with illuminated ends that flashed independently as it moved steadily through the sky alongside a commercial aircraft. Reviewing the video later only deepened the mystery, as the object's shape and motion didn't resemble anything familiar. Some suggest it could be a drone or classified aircraft, while others believe it may be something far more extraordinary. Though the video was uploaded years ago, it continues to spark debate, leaving viewers to question whether this was advanced human technology, or yet another unexplained presence briefly revealed in our skies. Between 1989 and 1990, Belgium became the center of one of the most significant UFO waves ever recorded, with thousands of unexplained sightings reported across the country, especially in the southwest. The volume and quality of the evidence were so compelling that fighter jets were scrambled to intercept the objects, while multiple radar systems tracked them, performing extreme maneuvers at unusual speeds. Military officials publicly acknowledged that the aircraft could not be identified and that their origin and purpose remained unknown. Despite years of review, no explanation has ever fully accounted for the sightings, and the objects vanished as suddenly as they appeared. With only photographs, radar data, and countless witness accounts remaining, the question still lingers. What exactly was operating in Belgian airspace during that period? In November 2004, the USS Nimitz became linked to one of the most compelling UFO encounters ever reported off the coast of San Diego. Two Navy fighter pilots observed and tracked a white, tic-tac-shaped object hovering above the Pacific before it suddenly accelerated away at speeds far beyond their aircraft. Infrared sensors showed no heat signature or exhaust, and the object displayed no wings, markings, or visible means of propulsion. Even military officials struggled to explain what was observed, and despite years of investigation by the Navy, no clear answer has emerged. With advanced sensors, trained pilots, and official acknowledgement all pointing to the same unexplained object, the incident continues to raise a troubling question. Was this an undiscovered human technology, or something entirely unknown operating in our skies? While many UFO sightings lack convincing evidence, one video has drawn unusual attention due to what appears to be a clear sequence of events. Originally uploaded to TikTok, the footage shows a silver spherical object hovering in the sky, becoming more defined as the camera zooms in. The moment grows more intriguing when 4 fighter jets suddenly appear, flying directly toward the unidentified object. The video ends before any outcome is shown, leaving viewers to speculate about what followed. Some believe the presence of military aircraft suggests an unidentified aerial threat, while others argue it could point to a classified test or training exercise. With no official explanation ever released and the object's behavior remaining unexplained, the footage continues to raise a lingering question. Were the jets responding to something truly unknown? Or was this a moment the public was never meant to fully understand? Although an early claim was later revealed to be a hoax, interest in the Loch Ness monster never faded, and reports have continued to surface over the years. The legend has long centered on the idea of a large creature living in the dark depths of the Scottish Loch. In April 2023, a holidaymaker visiting Scotland captured a photograph after noticing unusual movement in the water, with the image appearing to show a long-necked shape rising beneath the surface. The photo quickly sparked debate, with some questioning its authenticity, while others pointed out that it appears clearer than many past attempts. While previous images have failed to provide definitive proof, this sighting renewed speculation about whether something unknown may still inhabit the loch. With no confirmed explanation, the mystery remains. Was this simply another illusion? Or could it be the closest glimpse yet of a creature that has avoided identification for generations? Along the Mekong River in northeastern Thailand and Laos, the appearance of the Naga fireballs, also known as the Mekong Lights, has long inspired awe among locals and confusion among scientists. The phenomenon involves glowing red, orange, and yellow spheres, ranging from spark-sized to basketball-sized, rising silently from the river before fading into the night sky. While explanations such as gas emissions have been proposed, modern science has yet to provide a definitive answer. The light's vivid color, repeated appearances, and the number of eyewitnesses have made simple explanations difficult to accept, especially as researchers continue to debate their true origin. With countless photos, consistent reports, and no agreed-upon cause, the mystery persists, leaving many to wonder whether the Naga fireballs are a rare natural event, still misunderstood, or something far more unusual, hidden within our world. In the summer of 1951, the quiet town of Lubbock, Texas, became the center of one of the most famous UFO cases in history. One evening, a small group of Texas Tech scientists were gathered at a geology professor's home when they noticed a V-shaped formation of blue-green lights moving across the sky. All of them agreed they were witnessing something unusual, and the sightings didn't stop there. Over the following weeks, hundreds of residents reported seeing similar lights above the city, making the event one of the most documented UFO waves of the 20th century. Despite credible witnesses and photographic evidence, no definitive explanation was ever provided by military or government officials. Some believe it was a case of mass misidentification, while others see it as evidence of something far more extraordinary, leaving the question of what truly flew over Lubbock that night unanswered to this day. A mysterious blue spiral recently appeared in the sky over Hawaii after being captured by the Subaru telescope on Mauna Kea, quickly drawing widespread attention. The footage shows a small object slowly rotating while releasing a glowing, arc-shaped spiral that expanded across the sky, leaving observers puzzled. Observatory staff confirmed the image was not caused by equipment issues, leading many to suspect a possible connection to a rocket launch, with SpaceX's Falcon 9 often cited as a likely source. Still, no explanation has been scientifically confirmed, and the unusual shape and motion have fueled speculation beyond conventional causes. While a rocket-related origin remains possible, the lack of a definitive answer has kept debate alive, raising the question of whether this was a rare atmospheric effect, human technology, or something entirely unknown briefly revealing itself above Earth. Simply mentioning Roswell immediately brings to mind one of the most famous UFO cases in history. In July 1947, during a nationwide wave of flying disc reports, unusual metallic and rubber-like debris was discovered near Roswell, New Mexico, and recovered by personnel from the local Army airfield. The military quickly claimed the material came from a weather balloon, but decades later, alternative explanations emerged, suggesting the wreckage may have originated from something far more unusual. Conflicting statements, withheld information, photographs, and later testimony from military sources only deepened public suspicion. While some argue the incident was entirely mundane, others believe it marked the recovery of something not of this world. With no explanation ever fully satisfying every detail, the Roswell incident continues to raise a lasting question. Was this simply misunderstood debris, or the beginning of a story the public was never meant to fully hear? During an early morning hike near Sedona, Arizona, a former U.S. Navy SEAL and intelligence contractor noticed something unusual in the sky while recording a sunrise time-lapse on his phone. Despite windy conditions, a bright object appeared fixed in place, showing no movement, vapor trail, or signs of drifting. As he changed positions, the object remained stationary before briefly vanishing, only to reappear moments later in the exact same spot and stay there until sunrise. The experience left him deeply unsettled, especially given his background and familiarity with aircraft and aerial activity from years in conflict zones. While some dismiss similar sightings as easily staged, others argue his experience and training add weight to the encounter. With no clear explanation for the object's behavior, the sighting raises a lingering question. Was this an uncommon atmospheric effect, or an unidentified presence briefly revealed in the Arizona sky? People long regarded for their resilience have lived in a region that, without question, has remained a hotspot for UFO activity for decades. It's the same part of the country where a supposed craft crashed near Roswell in 1947, and it's also home to the notorious Area 51. In recent years, countless unusual sightings have been reported across Arizona, New Mexico, and Nevada, with some even captured on video. One of the most striking examples was unintentionally filmed by NBC Nightly News during coverage of the Navajo Nation's response to Arizona's water crisis during the pandemic. As the segment showed Native Americans performing music, a disc-like object appeared emerging from clouds and darting across the sky in the distance. Some viewers insist it was merely a plane, while others argue a plane wouldn't cut through the clouds in that manner. Reporter Cynthia McFadden had been focused on an entirely different story, yet may have recorded something far more extraordinary in the process. With more residents reporting UFO sightings throughout the Southwest, this NBC clip has only intensified speculation about what might be hidden above us, raising questions about whether this was misidentified aircraft or additional evidence suggesting the truth could be much closer than expected. UFO sightings are usually tied to the deserts of the United States, but something unusual recently appeared over Niagara Falls. A group of hikers filmed a bright, fast-moving light crossing the sky, sparking confusion about what it could have been. Some thought it was a military aircraft or a drone, while others linked it to extraterrestrial activity and the secrecy surrounding Area 51. The hikers were just as baffled, noting the object moved far faster than any aircraft they knew. Despite skepticism online, they stood by what they recorded, fueling debate about whether this could be further evidence of something visiting our planet. Because Niagara Falls is packed with tourist attractions, some wondered if it was part of a show, though nothing supports that idea. The sighting remains unexplained, raising questions about what might be hiding in the night sky and whether the area could be a new hotspot for unusual aerial activity. When a Victorian-era photograph was posted online, it seemed like a typical old portrait until viewers noticed something strange, an extra hand resting on one woman's shoulder. The women in the image were workers at a linen mill in Belfast, Northern Ireland, yet the mysterious hand doesn't match anyone else in the group. Some say it's a lighting issue or a photographic flaw, while others doubt the photo could have been altered at all, since editing tools didn't exist at the time. That unexplained detail has left many uneasy and wondering whether this is simply an odd visual illusion, or evidence that something unaccounted for was standing among them when the picture was taken. The Cash-Landrum UFO case is often cited as one of the most compelling encounters ever reported. In 1983, Betty Cash, Vicki Landrum, and Vicki's 7-year-old grandson Colby were driving through the piney woods of East Texas when they saw a massive, diamond-shaped craft in a clearing, surrounded by more than 20 helicopters. The object glowed intensely, giving off enough heat and light to be visible from over a mile away. After it flew off, all three developed sudden illness, with Betty suffering blistered skin, hair loss, and difficulty walking. A radiologist later said their symptoms resembled exposure to ionizing radiation. The group sued the U.S. government for $20 million, but the case was dismissed, and no official explanation was ever released. Many think the silence points to a cover-up, while others believe the story is simply too extraordinary to trust, raising the lingering question of whether this incident was a secret military operation or something far less familiar.
There was a kind of shrieky talk like a kid's in problem or something.
Few things are more unsettling than confronting the unknown, which is why the case of Stefan Michalak remains so memorable. In 1967, while prospecting for quartz near Falcon Lake in Canada, he reportedly came across a landed craft and heard strange voices coming from inside. He sketched what he saw, but the situation quickly turned dangerous when a foul, burning odor surrounded him. When he reached out to touch the object, the heat was so intense that his glove melted. Moments later, a burst of white light struck him before the craft lifted off and disappeared. Michalak was later hospitalized with symptoms consistent with radiation exposure, and the now famous photograph of him was taken during his treatment. He continued to insist that his encounter was real and involved something not of this world. The case has never been definitively solved and is considered one of the most thoroughly documented UFO incidents in Canadian history, prompting ongoing debate about whether it represents rare evidence of extraterrestrial contact or an event still misunderstood decades later, leaving the lingering question of what truly happened at Falcon Lake. Few alien encounters are as famous as the 1955 Kentucky Goblins case. On the night of August 21st, several adults and children in the small town of Kelly reported that small, seemingly impervious beings approached their farmhouse and attempted to enter before disappearing just as suddenly. What made the account even stranger was that the home, which lacked electricity, plumbing, and books, hardly seemed like a place that would attract extraterrestrial visitors. Despite how unbelievable the story sounded, the witnesses were so convincing that both the military and local police investigated. No tracks were found on the hard, dry ground behind the house, though one officer did report a patch of glowing residue in the grass that was never properly tested. With no physical proof and no clear explanation, the Kentucky Goblins case has become one of the enduring mysteries in UFO lore, raising the question of whether this was a misinterpreted event or a rare brush with something truly unknown. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.